So why do you believe?
I was raised atheist, didn't believe in God, and kind of figured that that whole believing intelligent design was kind of a crutch for people that just couldn't accept that, you know, you die and nothing happens to you. And then
you mean believing in evolution was a crutch?
Yeah, I grew up believing evolution and Big Bang were my original beginning theories. As I got older, I really started, the thing that really tripped me up was thinking about where did the energy in the Big Bang come from? Like, you know, two giant balls of energy colliding, and there's Christians that believe in evolution, there's Christians, or there's atheists that believe in evolution, but like, I was like, okay, where did it come from? And the idea of something internal tripped me up, and eventually I started thinking about the orbit of the moon around the Earth. It's a perfect balance between gravity, like gravity is holding it just enough that you know, its momentum doesn't send it flying off into the stars and into
So
wherever.
You believe because you discovered the orbit of the moon was right?
Well, it wasn't just that. It was the orbit of the Earth around the sun was a perfect balance between momentum and gravity. The orbit of the moon was a perfect balance. So many different conditions for life on Earth were so perfect. And so well, to me, it looked more likely that it was engineered than based on chaos. So I started thinking, okay, that seems.
So the unlikelihood of an environment habitable to humanity.
Yeah, for me it was more just a likelihood. I thought it was more likely that it happened than it was more likely that it accidentally happened.
All right, let's agree that, for the sake of argument, that happened because of a deity.
Yeah.
All right, rather than chance. How do you know it's your deity that did it and not somebody else's?
That was actually, so I believed in intelligent design, but I didn't believe in Christianity. Actually, I was looking for what had the best, like what I thought was the most logical religion, which deity seemed most likely to have created the Earth. And I looked into Buddhism because there was a lot of spiritual things that I liked, but ultimately the thing that answered the most questions for me was Christianity. And the only one that I really saw constantly pumping out miracles, not just in the past, but like past and present, was Christianity.
So you want to tell me a present day miracle you witnessed?
You know, the first miracle I saw, I was 13 years old. It was when I was still kind of in that, I believe in intelligent design, but I don't necessarily know that God, Christianity is the right thing. My mom, I told her I wanted to go to church and wanted to explore, and so she took us to this church. And there was this lady there that was a prophet, which I didn't believe at the time and thought was kind of hokey. But they made every one of the youth kids go up and get prayed for by her. And so she's praying for all these kids. And I don't know if you ever see them, like Christians, they'll touch somebody on the forehead and they'll fall over. And so I leaned over to the kid next to me because every kid was falling. I was like, hey, don't fall. We're gonna show this is a hoax. Like when she touches you, stand. And so like she comes and the kid next to me like falls over, and I'm like, what a sellout. And so like I take my foot and put my foot back. So I'm like, okay, at this point you can't even push me over. And so she goes to pray for me, and she literally touches my forehead, and the minute she touches my forehead, I literally feel the presence of God into my body, fill my body, and I go back. And I'm like, oh my God, like what just happened? So I get back up. I actually might be a little weird. Like I chase her down. I'm like, wait, hey, can you do that again? And so she prays for me again, happens again. I end up doing that 11 times that night.
I see.
And I'm just like, whoa, like what happened? Like, okay, that's like getting to me like, okay, like, wow, something's going on. So I'm really impressed by it. And then just kind of little things like that keep happening. Like I kind of had some like hard times because I thought, okay, you get Christian, like your life will get better. I was kind of in a tough home situation, was thinking, okay, now that I'm a Christian, like God, you're gonna like fix the abusive home situation, right? You're gonna fix everything, and things just didn't go that way. Like things went rough, but like that was that. For an example of a present day miracle that happened just this year. Driving a Honda Prelude. I jumped 10 grand into it over the last 5 years, just nickel and diamond on repairs. And I kind of got to the point where I knew the last one was like a mistake. I was like, all right, after this next big repair comes up, I made a deal. I was like, God, you can hold me accountable. I will buy a new car instead of dumping more money into a bad investment. So a Wednesday rolls around, my car is totally like, the clutch is going out, and I'm like, crap, like I don't have the money, I'm not ready for this, but I already committed that I'll buy a new one. And so I decided, all right, I'm gonna start looking for a new car. It lasts for about a few more days until Monday. That Monday, I know I've only got one day because it's so bad. And so I call into work. I'm like, hey, I can't make it to work today. My clutch is going out. I have to go buy a new car. so I'm driving up to Bothell to look at, they've got auto auction, like you can go look. And as I'm driving, there's this 2-lane highway. I'm going up the highway, and literally, as I'm uphill, I go to, like, you know when your clutch goes out, it gets harder and harder to shift?
Come on.
Okay, it goes out of gear.
Okay.
And it totally stops going into gear, completely shifts and dies. I'm like, God, I'll make you a deal. If you will fix my clutch today, I will buy a new car today. You have my word on it. So I turn the car back on, like the clutch is not working last time, didn't work at all. Put my foot down and shift, and it goes straight into gear like there's a brand new clutch in my car. And it lasted me the entire day like it was absolutely brand new.
I see.
And so kind of that was the evidence.
And that's evidence for God.
Yeah, that was the evidence. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to waste all your camera time.
Tell me why I should believe.
Honestly, you know what? God created you for a relationship with Him. And
how do I know that?
He wants you to have a relationship with your family, with your friends.
How do I know that?
Evidence. Just look for it.
Tell me the evidence.
You got to search. It's not on someone else. Just like it's not our job to find you your wife. It's not our job to get you your kids. Like, you got to look for the evidence if you want it, because He wants it, but He's not going to force it on you.
Okay, so you're not advancing any evidence for why I should believe.
Well, that's something, like, if you want to, you got to search it for yourself. I'm not going to force it down your throat. Just like God's a gentleman. He's not going to. If you
Well, no, I'm begging you. I'm begging you for evidence for me to believe.
Miracles. If you want to know why you should want to know God, the evidence of why God wants to know you, He sent His Son to die for you. There's no other thing He can do
Do you
to
have
tell
any
you
evidence
He
for
loves
that?
you more. You can read, if you don't believe in the Bible, you can read any history book that talks about Jesus Christ dying on the cross.
Well, you might be able to establish an historical Jesus. Establishing that person was supernatural is a whole different issue.
Okay. Well,
do you have any evidence that person that we call Jesus was supernatural?
Only the evidence of the miracles He's still doing today.
Okay.
The ones I told you right now.
All right.
They didn't happen in Buddhism.
Okay.
So that's...
Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.